Hope you got a lot of energy after a break. So please do utilize that by concentrating. Sorry. 1 minute, sorry. Some problem. Okay, sorry, that was right. Okay. So here comes the things. See, I have just given a brief idea with respect to what is Central Secretariat. You just have, like now you just have some idea with respect to what is a minister, what is a minister made up of, how ministry, secretariat and executive departments are present. Now let us start understanding these concepts one by one. In that, to begin with, you are all familiar about the concept of government. So let us take up these things first. We'll see what is government, what is governance, what is good governance, what is ethical governance. Here, I'll be discussing these concepts according to ARC only. And governance concept, I'm using general, in general. It is not given by second ARC. They have not dealt. They have dealt with these concepts and will be sticking to these things itself, which is given by second ARC. That will be more than sufficient. What is government? This is a big question to you. Before that, let me just show you. See, these concepts are present in your preliminary examination. This is your prelim syllabus. This is present in your GS syllabus also, the governance topic. Coming to the exact ethics syllabus, GS4, the concept of government is there in chapter number 6. Ethical concerns and dilemmas in government. So you should know what is government. In chapter number 7, you have got information sharing and transparency in government. So you should know what is government. Governance, coming to this concept, emotional intelligence, the concepts, its utility and application in governance. So here comes the governance. Once again, here governance, accountability and ethical governance, strengthening of ethical moral values in governance, corporate governance, probity in governance, philosophical basis of governance. See here. See how many times they have used the term governance. Now the present status, the present trend is towards governance. Almost no thinker, no writer using the term government. They are using the term governance. They say that government as an instrument is not working, so you have to remove that, reduce it. So these are the areas where you come across the concept of governance in the syllabus. As it is, I have put ethical governance in chapter number 6, accountability and ethical governance. What is government? Government means system of group of people governing a country. Government means system or group of people governing a country. I'll explain this. Government consists of executive, legislature and judiciary. Here, one of the most important things which you have to keep in mind is government. What is it? What is this government? This is an instrument. This is an instrument. It is a device. It is a means. Clear? So, government is an instrument, a means, or a device used by the people. Is this clear? Government is a device. Right? 1 minute. Then the question arises, how this government works? how this government works. So here think government has a instrument, organization or device. This is for the welfare of the people. How does this work? Here, the work of the government, work of this organization is divided into three parts. I am speaking about the government. In government, the work of government is divided into three. One is policy forming. Policy forming. So, one portion of the government is involved in policy formulation. And another is involved in policy execution. And another is looking into whether these policies are correct. So here judging the things. Right? Let me use another word. Here in government, the work of the government is divided. It is so divided that one is involved in law making, right? One is involved in law making, another is involved in law which is already made. What is that they are doing? Execution or implementation, right? Another division is looking whether this law or legal legitimacy of the law, right? Is the concept clear to you? So it's group of people governing a country. In that you have got three components. You have got three components. Here give due attention here. Sorry. The things are so formed that, say for example, here why they have made this. See, here policy maker, here policy farmer, lawmaker is just making them. But there is another person who is executing. The person who is executing is having the power. Your executive is having the power. But he is not having the power to make laws. He is just implementing the laws which are already made. Is the point clear? So here, in government, we have got three parts. The beauty is, one part is making law. Afterwards, finish, no other work. Second part is implementing this law. So, this part is not having the power of making laws. Its work is just implementation. There is another one which sees whether this law is correct or not. This doesn't have the power of law making or law execution. Is the point clear? Government functions through organs. Since elaborate the word legitimacy. Legitimacy just means following law. If they are following law, it is legitimate. It is like authority and legitimacy, that is different. We will discuss that later. As of now, legitimacy means something correct, legitimate. Right? Is this clear till here? So why they have made? Here two things you can just analyze here. One is, here the whole power is divided. Whole power of the government is divided into three parts. This is known as separation of powers. Right? Are you with me? Is the concept clear? This is known as separation of power. Because the powers are separated, the government should act as a whole. For the process to complete, a thing has to go through all these things. One has to make law, one has to implement, one has to see whether they are right or wrong. So in this way, it acts as checks and balances. Checks and balances. Is this clear to you? If power is concentrated in one hand, it leads to corruption. Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So this power is divided among the three, and all the three have to work together, then only the work will be finished. One has to form law, another execute, and another see whether these laws are correct or not. Right? I'll just elaborate once again. This is government. In this government, the power is divided into three. That is, one is the lawmaker. That is your legislature. He makes the law. Law maker. He doesn't have any other power. He is having the power of lawmaking. See here. Another person is having, his name is executive. So he doesn't make law. His thing is only execution. There is another person. He doesn't execute or he doesn't make law. His thing is to judge whether these laws are legal or not. So if this is the thing, if you are given the option, which one you want to choose? Judiciary checks whether laws are in consonance with constitution. Great, correct. So here, see, you are given a choice. Will you be a legislature? Will you be an executive or a judiciary? What you will be? And why? Legislative, good. Then, who want to be executive? Why executive, Yashashwini? Why executive? Then anyone? Legislator. Okay, great. So I'll tell you, those people who are saying legislature, they will because we will be civil servants. Okay, great, executive. So some of you may change your mind when I explain the real things. Executive to protect with people. Okay, great. Okay, let's come to the point. See here. Here the power is this thing that this is 100-year-old power. Here the power is separated. This is known as separation of power. Very important concept, very deep concept, often misunderstood and many don't know. If you are a beginner, if you don't understand, not a problem. Because even for reading 6 months, people won't understand these things, right? Because why I'm saying is, over a period, you'll get the things right. This is known as separation of power. Because this separation of the power, what we have is checks and balances. Checks. So legislature acts as a checks and balance to executive. Executive acts as like that. So how checks and balances? How checks and balance? Because one is making 33%, another is making 33%, another is making 33%. So if you want to be 100%, for anything to happen, all these things have to be there. Just forming a law, it won't be having any effect if it doesn't have, if it's not executed, right? Okay, message, okay. Executive has the power to implement the laws in proper way, right? Okay. Moving forward, government consists of executive, legislature, and judiciary. Very important. Most of you, especially the beginners, they think that government means only executive. That is wrong. Modi government, it doesn't mean only executive. In fact, Modi government, that is a wrong term. Modi is just an executive. So government is equal to legislature, executive, and judiciary. Is this clear? No, you should not have any doubt. You shouldn't have any doubt with respect to these things. Governments is equal to not your CM or PM. It is the whole legislature, executive, and judiciary. Government is divided into branches. each with separate independent powers and responsibilities, so that the powers of one branch are not in conflict with those of the others. Here, the most important thing is the division of a power is such a way that these are separate and independent. They are separate and independent. These separate and independence are given so that they won't have conflict with others. See here, three. One is executive. Whole execution is in your hand. No one will interfere. This legislature, lawmaking. So in those areas, they are independent. Right? Moving forward, each branch has a power to limit or check the other two branches, which creates a balance between these separate branches of state. So each branch is having the power to limit or check the other two. So take the example here. Here, legislature, lawmaking. This fellow will give only 100 rupees. If it is like, but the executive is asking for 1000 rupees. By this way, he is limiting. Judiciary checks the laws, whether they are in consistency with the constitution or not. Like this way, each branch acts as limit, will be limiting the power of others. This principle induces one branch to prevent either of the other branches from becoming supreme, thereby securing political liberty. So, politically, we are liberal. Why? Power is not concentrated in one hand. Right? Separation of powers. In one word or one sentence, you have to internalize what is separation of powers. See, all these stories, just forget, concentrate here. Separation of powers, important term, difficult concept. What is that? Each organ of government, or you can say anyone, don't write like this, each organ or branch in government. No, just use anyone. Each organ of government exercises different powers. That is the thing. Right? Internalize this one. So, what is separation of power? Each branch, different powers. That's it. So just remember each organ and different powers. Right? Is the concept clear? What is separation of powers? Just remember these things. There is nothing more than this. Each branch, different powers. Then the concept of checks and balance. What do you understand by checks and balance? Through separation of powers. See, because of separation of powers, each organ acts as a check on the other organ of the government. So, through the separation of powers, each organ acts as a check on the other organ, and this ensures the balance of the power between all the three. This is the thing. So, no need to go in depth. Separation of powers and checks and balance itself may take more than 2 to 3 hours. So, here the concept should be clear. So, any doubt here with respect to this? So, it's a little difficult and subjective thing. So, if anyone want to elaborate, I will elaborate. Is the concept clear? If the concept is clear, just say yes. If no, say no. I'll explain again. And where you got confusion, just say no doubt, sir. Oh, great, great. Okay. Maybe senior citizens, I suppose. Okay, right. So don't mind for my word, senior citizens. I use this word with due humility and grace. Don't worry. Senior citizen means you should be very happy that you are the. Explain, sir. Okay, explain, sir. 60 plus 60%. Okay. Okay. Right? Okay. See here, we are people. In democracy, people are all powerful. So they want to run the society. they want to run the society. So for that they have got a they have got a instrument. They have got a instrument. This instrument is known as government. For a better understanding, think that this is an organization. This organization will take care of the entire society, entire country. So here comes like how to give powers here. If we give power to this government organization, if power is concentrated in one place, corruption will be always be there. Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So this power is divided. This power, the whole power is divided, separated. This is known as separation of powers. So powers are separate. Since the powers are separate, it acts as a check and balance on the other organs of the government. Say for example, say law making. In this, one is making law, another is implementing, and another is saying whether this law is correct or not. So all the three are involved. Three are having independent powers. But when they combine, when all this combined, then only the work will be done. Right? So for the work to be done, all these have to come together. But all these are having separate powers. So one acts as a check on the power of others so that they don't misuse the things. Right? We'll move forward. Is the things clear? Okay. Here one more important concept, that is dual power. Very important concept, dual power, two parallel governments. This is the concept which you have to understand when it comes to federation. India is a federation, right? Here we have got two parallel governments. In India, we have got two parallel government. One is central government, right? Another is state government. Central government, state government. So, can anyone say, is this Venn diagram correct? So, this is central government, this is state government. Can we represent like this? Can we represent like this? Just say yes or no. Is this yes, yes? No, you are wrong. So, never write like this. This is wrong. This is wrong. Don't write like this. Why? The only thing, because here these are parallel governments. Never is state government under or below the central government. Are you getting me? State government is independent. They are parallel government. One is with respect to the center and another is with respect to the state. Right? So central government and state government are two parallel governments, not the one which I explained. See, this many of you said yes because see India, like map, Indian map. What is there in your mind? This is India, these are states. So center, state, no. These are parallel governments. Then one more simple question, I already told you. Why are these parallel government and why are these independent governments? Why? The answer for this is they get power directly from Constitution, right? State government and central government are parallel government. Center is definitely having some powers greater than state, but state government is never under center under normal circumstances. Is this point clear to you? On the other hand, there are some things known as your union territories. There, they are simply extensions of central government. They don't have their own identity, right? So here this is one of the concepts which you have to keep in mind. In India, we have got dual government, where both are independent, parallel. It is not diarchy. A government in which power is vested in two rulers or authorities, government by two independent authorities. Diarchy means government by two independent authorities. Say, for example, one is collecting the revenue, another maintaining administration. Say, for example, in the beginning days of British Empire, revenue collection was done by someone and administration was done by someone. So there was diarchy. So you should not confuse with this. So moving forward, so please give due attention. I'll just take another 15 minutes. Please concentrate here. This is the one picture which has to be there in your mind forever. Constitution, law and rules. Constitution is the supreme one. Law below that, rules below that. Constitution is supreme because it is made by people. Law is the second in order. Any law cannot violate Constitution. Laws are the things which are made by your legislature. Rules are the things which are done by your executive. Right? So for those of you newcomers, anything ending with rules, motorcycle rules. Who frames motorcycle rules? Executive. Anything ending with law or act. Right to Information Act. Who will frame this? Your legislature, not executive. Right to education. Right to information. Act, law. If it is ending with law or act, it is done by legislature. So law should be within the framework of Constitution and rules should be within the framework of law and Constitution both. So this is one. And one important, Constitution. What is Constitution? If anyone asks, simple definition, Constitution is the basic law. First remember this thing. Constitution, like set of rules, regulations, that's there. Constitution is also a law, right? But this is the basic law. This is the mother law. This is the law of the land on which all laws depend, right? Constitution is a fundamental law. Yes, fundamental law, basic law, mother law. All laws should follow this. Within the framework of Constitution, everything works. Right? Okay. Now, government is an act of collective solving the problem. Here, I am explaining why we are moving from government to governance. So, dear students, very important concept. Please give your attention. I am explaining the concept of governance here. Why the concept of governance has become very popular. Wherever you go, governance, governance. Why? Because government has been discussed is an act of problem solving. For this, we use an instrument. That instrument is called as your government. The instrument is outdated. It is the time to remake it. We don't need more government. We need better government. To be precise, we need better governance. So this is in fact the thing which explains why we are moving towards liberalization, privatization, globalization. Very important. Why we are moving towards liberalization? Why we are moving towards privatization? The answer for this is government. We people were using one instrument called government. Why we were using this government? To solve our problems. To solve our problems collectively. But what has happened to this government? Sorry. I think you got this confused. 1 minute. government. So here, government is the instrument we are using. This government is not working properly, right? This is not working properly, so there is a need to change. That is the reason we are moving to liberalization, privatization. Let me read this again. Governance is the act of collectively solving the problems. What is government? Government is an instrument we use for collective solving the problems. This instrument is not working, so it is the time to wind it up, to remake it. Right? So let me explain the concept. Government is everywhere in our society. From morning, BTS bus, the police officer. Previously, it was everywhere. Government was everywhere. But it was not working properly. You might have heard one like watch, famous India watch, HMT. Is there anyone who has heard this watch? HMT. If you know, if you have heard, just say yes. HMT watch. Has anyone heard? Oh, yes, great, great. Yes. So, yes, great. So, this was a watch which was having a huge fame. It was having a huge fame. In fact, in Dowry, those days, in Dowry, the bridegroom used to ask HMT watch. If no HMT watch, no marriage. Now, what has happened to HMT? It is nowhere. HMT is nowhere. Nowhere. Why I took this example is, it was a government department, government organization. It has failed. It has failed to work. Similarly, government has failed in many areas. The road system, what we have, 6 lanes. See, when I was young, riding the bike at 60 was the greatest thing, because roads were not that good. Now, even if you go in 100, nothing will happen. Government is not working properly, so we are moving to liberalization. We are liberating ourselves. We are privatizing the things. Right? So, is this concept clear to you? Any doubt with respect to these things? Okay. Let me make the things clear to you again. See here. Government. What is government? It is an instrument we use to solve our problems. Number one, that you have to keep in mind. 3 things are present in government: legislature, executive, judiciary. Right? I think these things are clear to you. Then comes the concept of governance. Here, concept of governance is all encompassing. All encompassing. Anything done which maximizes the welfare of the people. Anything which maximizes the welfare of the people, maximizes the welfare of the people is known as governance. So please give your attention. Very important thing. Forget about government now. Anything and everything which is helping people. That's simple words, right? Anything and everything which improves the status of people, which make the people well off, welfare of the people is governance. So governance is a bigger one, in that you have government, civil society, non-government organizations, international organizations, people groups, everything is present. Right? Let me make the things clear for you. This is your governance. So what is governance? Very simple. Please internalize this simple, like you won't get anywhere. Governance. Anything which maximizes the welfare of the people. That's it. That is anything which maximizes comes under the ambit of governments. Say NGO, they are maximizing the welfare. Then, sir, is anything work for people interest is government? Not government, governance. Work for people which uphold people's interest. See, he has asked, anything work for people is not government, it is governance. So this is governance. Anything which increases the maximizes the welfare of the people, right? Anything, it can be non-governmental organization, it can be your government, it can be civil society, it can be any international organization, it can be private organization, if it is maximizing the welfare of people, right? Let me make this. See, like I want to make sure that all the people who are present should have fair understanding of government and governance before you go. Is the concept clear to you? Should I explain this again? Is the concept clear? Like just say yes or no. I want all of you to have clarity on these two things, government and governance, right? Clear. Okay, great. All freshers are also saying like we understood. It's a great thing, right? Okay, right? See, ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ದೇವರಾಣೆಗೂ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. But there are like thousands of pages on these things. What is the difference between governance to governance? Yes, okay, I'll explain. Then, okay, let me sum up. So those of you, like you might have understood in a wrong way. Now you give your attention here. See this red one. This is governance. What is governance? Define governance. So what is the thing? Anything maximizing the welfare of the people. Anything maximizing the welfare of the people is known as governance. Anything. So what are the things which can maximize or which influence the welfare of the people? It can be government. So your government is part of governance. Government is just a part. It can be a private organization. It can be a non-government NGO, non-government organization. It can be a multinational organization. It can be an international organization. It can be a civil society, right? So inside governance you have all these things. So inside government what you have got? Legislature, executive and judiciary. So this is the thing, right? Nothing more than this. Is the concept clear? Okay, like Shivam, you are right, but don't use like concrete words. Governance is a system. No, you can't say governance is a system. Governance, anything done for the welfare of the people or maximizes the welfare of the people. Government is people come together to run the system, but the difference here is it's just an instrument having three parts. It doesn't include NGOs, civil society, all these things, right? So if you have got any doubt, please let me know. Right? Okay. Now let me explain another important thing. Right? Okay. Okay. See here. Here, laws are made. Laws are made by your legislature. Okay. These laws are executed by. These are executed by your executive. In executive, you have got two. One is political executive, another is your civil servant or permanent executive. Right? Executives, they are executing the laws. One is political executive and another is your permanent executive. Political executive is your minister. Political. Permanent executive is your civil servant, civil services. Right? You are here, you are working here. So what you are doing? You are not forming law. You are just executing the law. But within the broader framework of the law, executive does make what are known as rules. So he makes these rules for the better implementation of these things. Right? Say for example, environment pollution prevention law. Hypothetical. Environment pollution prevention law. This is made by the legislature. Under this, environment rules are made by executive. So here. Right? Okay. Are these concepts clear to you? Right? If you have got any doubt, please let me know. And dear students, if you have got anything to say, like anything, like I always want to improve my teaching, everything like that. If you find any like deficiencies, or if you want to change the way I teach, some things which you feel are not good in teaching, you can just like message me. I will take very positively to on my Telegram group. That is, you know the number. For this number, you just say everything, anything, because that will be like a repository. We'll be following those things. Right? Okay. Okay. If the things are clear, then I'll wind up the session. It's already like 9:30. If you have got any doubt, please let me know. Right? Any doubt? See, any doubt with respect to any concepts which I have taught. Any doubt with respect to any concept which I have taught. Explain again. Explain diarchy again. Okay. See, senior citizens ask very difficult questions. Diarchy. Okay. Let me. Diarchy and dual polity and diarchy is different. Right? In diarchy, we have got two rulers, two authorities. Say for example, here with respect to Government of India Act of 1990. Here we had two things. One is transferred and another are reserved. Subjects were divided into two: transferred subjects and reserved subjects. Reserved subjects were taken care by the British. Transfer subjects were given to Indians. So here, two rulers or two authorities. On the other hand, in case of federation, will have dual polity, two parallel governments, not two independent authorities. Here you have to make the distinction here. I think Pragna, you got this doubt because here these are two governments. Here these are two authorities. Government, inside government you have got two authorities. Here you have got two governments itself. Okay, I'll make this very simple. In dual polity, you have got two parallel governments. In diarchy, what you have? In government, you have got two authorities, two rulers. Two rulers are ruling same kingdom. Like Pragna, is the concept clear to you? Like perfectly understood. Okay, like yeah, great. I thought like one of the difficult concept. I thought like you won't understand. Great, right? So very important. You will come across this again and again. This simple, like hard to get. So please don't mind when I say this simple. Nobody can tell. In fact, that is truth. When truth is there, never hesitate to tell that. Right? Dual polity means two governments. Diarchy means here power. Here two powers. Within this government, you have got two. The example is Government of India Act of 1919. India under Government of India Act of 1919 and India under Government of India Act of 1935. Under these two, we had diarchy. And also in the beginning, British system, in the beginning, also we had diarchy. Right? Hope. If you have got any doubt, you can ask me. The mic is open. Otherwise, like you can leave the room, go happily eat, sleep. Right? Any doubt? Okay. One more message has come. So please explain to cut short difference between government and please explain to cut short difference between. I'm not getting the question. Difference between government and governance. See here. One thing, government is an instrument, is a device, On the other hand, what is governance? Governance is not an instrument, not a device. It is a system. It is a process. It is a thing. Okay, it goes it will take different. Like I'll go in depth. So let me not go because many new students will be confused. Let me say the difference. Government. Just understand this. It will be enough. Government consists of three things. That's enough. This is government. Right? I hope this concept is clear. Government consists of legislature, executive, judiciary. Finish. Nothing more than this. Governance. Anything done for the welfare of the people, for the betterment of the people. Don't go behind the words also. Anything done for the betterment of the people, welfare of the people, anything and everything is governance. Like, am I clear to you now? Government is a device, structure, which has executive, legislature, and judiciary. Governance, on the other hand, is a very broader concept. Governance is very broad. Within that comes your government, private organization, everything. Right? Manoj, is the concept clear to you? Right? Okay. Yes. Thank you. If you would have not understood and if you have said yes, don't worry. As we proceed, you will understand. Like I know how difficult this is. Don't worry. Like you might be saying, sir has explained once, so I should say yes. Okay, you might have said. And also, I also feel like I'll be difficulties to say again and again. But don't worry. As proceed, as the things go, everything will be in a smooth way, right? Okay. What is liberalization? Everything I will explain. We'll go step by step. Liberalism, liberalization, everything we'll take up. Right? Okay. Then thank you for attending the class. Enjoy your preparation. You have to enjoy your preparation. Like you have to get addicted for preparation. Right? Life is very, very beautiful. The whole world is conspiring to help you. Just enjoy the life. Life is beautiful. Take care of yourself. Be proud civil servants, IAS, IPS, or anything. Okay, great. Good night to one and all.
Sir, one doubt, sir.